everybody and welcome back to my studio, the Pottery Corner down on the south coast of England. I'm Sarah Ramos. Thank you for joining me again. We're doing another Glaze Kiln Fire opening. What's in the kiln? Well, there are some ceramic bases from my collaboration with Nicki and Brian at Willow and Yoga, and you'll have seen in past videos bits and pieces coming out, and there is hours and hours of filming from this collaboration which I will put into a video, but in this particular kiln are some of the bases, and what we've been doing is making ceramic bases for the beautiful willow that Nicki and Brian grow in Surrey, in Dorking, and she runs workshops. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested. So I've made these from the bases that I've made, and then Nicki and Brian came and did some workshops with me and have made some bases. So some of these bases are in the kiln, some of them are still waiting to be fired, and then I'm going to go back up to Dorking to do the willow part. So I'll keep adding to my hours and hours of unedited filming to put a video together for you. But it's a really interesting collaboration. It's been great to do, to actually put two skills together of the actual ceramic part and the willow part, and I think they look great. So that's still an ongoing project. Right, kiln was cold yesterday, so I know that I'm okay to flip it open. Let's get it up and see. Okay, so on the top shelf is actually one of my bases. So I have made a couple of bases to take with me. And this one is very large and very flat. And obviously very large and very flat things can be a bit of a nightmare to fire. Now this one has come out fine, as you can see. Oh, and I didn't say, I did have a little sneaky peek, tiny one. So this has been made out of craft crank clay. So this is the clay that I use for more robust uses than my normal functional white stoneware. So it comes out this sort of buff stony colour, and it's much more robust, so it does actually work better for large flat things. This is, as I say, a basket base. This is a fig leaf design, so I just picked some fig leaves from a tree and I've used copper oxide on there. So the green part is copper oxide, and there is a video on the Poppy Head playlist of how I use oxide, so you might want to check that out. But this is copper oxide, and then what I've done is I've used Oatmeal and Smokey Merlot on the beads, and then I waxed them so that the Aqua that went over the top didn't go on the purple bead parts, and I think it's been really successful. So copper oxide on the actual leaves, and then we've sponged over the top of the copper oxide the Aqua, and then these parts, as I say, were Oatmeal and Smokey Merlot. So yeah, very nice. And again, I'll share with you the finished basket when that's done, but actually I'm really pleased with that. Looks great. Really nice, really interesting variations in the thickness of the copper oxide. So I'm glad that that one has come through okay. Pop him down there. Okay, so next layer down, just get those props out. The next layer down, this is one of, I think Nicki did this one. Again, it's sat on silicone sand, just to sort of protect it as it is large and flat, but we have a crack right across the centre of there. I hope you can pick that out. There is actually a crack right down the centre, which has corresponded onto the front here and here, but interestingly it doesn't go through the middle. So yeah, interesting. And again, that's been done in the same colourway, so that's a feather stamp with copper oxide over the top and Amaco's Celadon Glaze Aqua. So that's a shame, and actually, I mean, you could make it into a basket, but you wouldn't be able to use it for food because it's got a crack in it. But I'm sure that Nicki will probably use it. Right, next layer down. This one is Brian's, or one of Brian's. And again, actually, I hadn't realised that I had actually loaded the kiln with all of the bases in the same colourway. So this one, again, is copper oxide on the stamp detail. So this is a fish stamp and a tree stamp with Amaco's Aqua over the top. Really nice finish. We liked it when we used it last time, so we thought we'd use it again. As you can see on here, this copper oxide is almost black on the surface here, and that's because the application was very thick. So if you apply copper oxide really thickly, it will go black. But actually still a very, very nice base for a basket. So I'm sure that Brian will be pleased with that one, and no cracks on that one. Okay, so the next level down, there are some pieces in here from the previous vlogging videos. So if you've not seen those, there's a couple over the last couple of weeks where I kind of take you along into my week in the studio. So the pieces that are coming out from the kiln now are ones that I've done from that video. One of them is the one with the Underglaze pencils, and on that subject, so this is the bowl that I did just with rounds of Underglaze pencil from the Pasla pencils that were sent to me. Yeah, we've lost the green almost completely, so there should be green here on this section here, so you can see the red and you can see the yellow, but there is no green. Practically no brown. The red's okay, the black's okay, and the yellow's okay. But again, on the inside, the black is fine. The brown is actually better on the inside than it is on the outside. The red is fine. There is no green, so the green has completely burnt off. And the yellow is not too bad, although very faint on the rim. So yeah, that was an interesting test. My kiln does go up to a good cone 6, and the Pasla Underglaze pencils fire between 6 and 10, so shouldn't be any reason why that's burning off. So that was just a trial piece, just to see what happens with the Underglaze pencils. I'll leave that one to you to work out. Right, this is the penguin bowl. These are the cookies that I use. There's a video on that as well, just to keep the bases clear. The glaze on the back of this is one of my favourites, one that I use a lot, and if you've watched my kiln openings before, you will have seen. This is 2 coats of Amaco's Obsidian with 2 coats of Indigo Float over the top. Really lovely. I love that combination. I think it's a really good one. Really nice. And this is the penguin bowl that we were playing with on our last vlog. And I did a bit of sort of watercolour underglazes just to give it a sort of a watery scene. And actually I'm really pleased with how that's come out. Very nice. Quite pleased with that. That's a nice little bowl. I like the splattering, which is really good actually. I quite like that. So yes, nice little bowl, nice shape, nice pattern, nice bowl. Happy days. Next, I made a little slab-built jug. I bought some stencils on Amazon for when you make one of those lovely, very fancy cups of coffee, and you put a pattern on the top of it by shaking the hot chocolate powder. I bought some of those. They're little discs with different patterns on. I thought, oh, they'd be quite good to use for underglaze, and actually they are. So that on the bottom is one of them. It's 2 little birds. I hope you can make that out. And I just thought I'd have a little play with them to see what they did. And actually, yeah, pretty good. I'd say the only thing is that if you move them once you've put them onto your slab, they have a tendency to distort. So, but yeah, they work really well actually, quite like that. So this is a little slab built jug. It's nothing special by any stretch of the imagination. That is a Ceramica transfer on there, which actually is really nice, like that. textured handle, and that is Amaco's Marigold on the inside. Nice bright springtime yellow. So yeah, I just thought I would see how they came out, and actually you can see the image. There's a hibiscus flower here if you can see it. So yeah, they were pretty good. I thought I'd just give them a trial before the students got hold of them. Right, couple of other things. This is one of the fluted black porcelain mugs, which the handle fell off when I was glazing. It came through the bisque okay, and then as I was glazing, the tongs knocked the handle off. So I know porcelain's very naughty, you know porcelain's very naughty, so I clearly didn't put the handle on terribly efficiently. I have to say, jury's out on this black clay for me. So this is the black porcelain, which comes out this colour, but when I put my transparent over the top, it comes out this sort of purpley colour, which is quite interesting. I hope you can kind of pick that up from the lights, which if you wanted it to be that colour would be fine. I just thought as it was, as it had been through all the processes, I'd just see how it came out. So not terribly excited, but I think that the other one is in the bottom, the one that does still have a handle. So that's not very exciting. And frankly, this doesn't look very exciting either. This is really interesting. So, me being terribly rude about that black clay that cut my hands up, this is it, finished. Now, if you watched my last vlog, you will know that on the inside of here, I put some white transfers. Now, they have completely vanished. Completely gone. There is no trace of them on this bowl whatsoever. I'll stick an image up from the previous video of what it looked like before I put the white, before I put the transparent glaze over the top. This part, which was unglazed, so you can see that I've glazed it down to about here, is actually really lovely and black. Very coarse, but very black. And the rest of it is just a complete mystery. Absolutely no idea where those transfers went. I put a transparent glaze over the top, and I have been left, I have to say, actually I don't mind it, but it definitely was not what it was supposed to come out like. So yeah, hey, don't we get some real interesting combinations and things sometimes? Actually, I don't dislike it. It doesn't feel like it's got any glaze on it at all. It seems that the glaze has actually disappeared into the pot. But yes, well, that's not what I was expecting. Hey-ho. I'm not sure I shall be rushing to use that clay again. I can't think of anything in my line of work that would endear me to use it again. So I'm just going to get this shelf out and we'll see what we've got in the bottom. Right, okay. And Lesley has done it again. Those of you who, as I say, watch my videos on a regular basis will know that my students make some pretty amazing pieces. And this kiln load has one student piece in it. And it's Lesley's, and it's the first of a new totem pole. So she's made totem poles in the past, and this one she's going to make with animals. So this little fellow up here, who is bisqued and waiting to be glazed, is the hare that's going to go on her totem pole. So that is a piece that is yet to be glaze fired, so we'll be very careful with him. But on the very bottom of her animal totem is Mr. Fox. And Lesley, I actually don't really know how she does it, but he is fantastic. And let me just very gently pick him up. So he's in the round. Hello, Mr. Fox. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, honestly, I don't know how she does it. So he's got this very large section in the middle so that she can obviously put the totem pole down the middle. Fantastic Mr. Fox is all I can say. I mean, honestly, Lesley, beautiful, beautiful. Isn't he beautiful? Look at the detail on him. So the glaze is Amaco's Ancient Copper on the body of the fox, which I have to say is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it really, really is. And then on the tip of the tail and the legs here is river rock with some obsidian just to make it slightly blacker, and then obsidian on the eyes and snow just on his muzzle. Isn't he fabulous? Do you love him? Write in the comments. Tell Lesley what you think. She's going to be absolutely amazed when she sees him. I love it when I take the kiln shelf off and there you are. That's what's staring at you from the kiln shelf. So well done, Lesley. That is a fantastic start to your new totem. I mean, honestly, she loves making creatures. You'll have seen Wally the whale shark and all sorts of things along the way. So Ian the iguana, another one. So yes, he's absolutely beautiful. Lovely. Well, what can I say? I have the most talented students. I'm such a lucky girl in my studio to have such talented students. Right, moving on. This is my Doodle mug. Woo, I nearly dropped it, goodness me. So this was the mug that I tried the Underglaze pencils on. Actually, it's come out really nicely. Love that, love that, love that. There is a little bit of colour. Hope you can kind of sort of pick that out. We didn't seem to lose the green on here, so I don't know what was different about it. There's a little bit of the brown, a little bit brown there. So yeah, I'm actually really pleased with that. Isn't that sweet? I shall keep that for myself, I think. Because, I mean, when are you ever going to make another one the same? So I'm really pleased with that. And the Underglaze Black came out really well on there. So actually, yes, having had not quite such a good result on the bowl, I think the Doodle mug is really very pretty. So yeah, that's it in its finished form. Lovely, like that. Next thing out is one of my... I'm doing a project and I will share it with you, but a little bit later. And when I'd used the Underglaze pencils on here, I wasn't very pleased with how they came out, so I did just pick out the detail with normal underglaze. So I'll talk about this a little bit more in another video, but the glaze on the outside is Amaco Smoke, and the glaze on the inside is Mayco's Night Moth. Which I think looks very sort of starry sky, which is why I've put it on, obviously, with the astronauts. Very nice, lovely glaze. If you've not seen that one before, very nice. I like that a lot. So, as I say, I will share what I'm doing with those quite madly another time. And the last thing out of this kiln is the other one of the Fluted mugs, which does have a handle. And again, I don't dislike it, but considering that it's supposed to be black, my transparent underglaze has turned it into this, it's actually quite a nice heathery purple colour. I love the fluting, and as you know, that's one of Vaughan Smith's kind of signature styles. I really like that, done with the potato peeler. So again, on 2 vlogs ago, we had a look at doing that. I really like that style, really nice, lovely shape, lovely fluting, nice glaze, but yeah, not terribly black, but actually I do like it. So yes, I would use the black porcelain again, but I think I need to do some test tiles to see how glazes come out of that. So, but yes, it's a usable mug. It's got a nice glaze and a nice form. So yeah, that's probably the best piece out of the black clay so far. Right, so that is the kiln empty. Not much in there today with all those large flat pieces. Okay, so there's only just the one shout out today. This one is from June McCabe. June bought some textured stamps from my Etsy shop. There unfortunately aren't any in there at the moment because I haven't made another batch. But she bought the stamps from me and she said, here are a few pictures of the dishes that I made decorating with your lovely stamps. She was saying that she wasn't really sure how to glaze things. So as I was saying in my last video, sometimes it does take a little while to kind of work out what you're going to put on it. My suggestion was the Amaco Celadon range, so Storm or Sky or whichever of those, because they will sit in that lovely texture. So this is one of the dishes and the stamps that June bought on my Etsy shop. Really very nice, and it's lovely. It's lovely of people to send me pictures of them using what they've bought in my Etsy shop. So yeah, really nice. And on the subject of Etsy shop, the digital template for the Wonky Pot is on there, as well as the physical template. And also some of my work is for sale on the Etsy shop, and the link is in the description below. So that, my lovely ones, is all that I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Drop us a comment, drop us a like, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye for now.